Saint Central, your black and gold home for the New Orleans Saints.
Who that say they gonna beat them Saints? Who that? Who that? Who that say they gonna beat them Saints? Who that? Who that? Who that say they gonna beat them Saints? Who that?
Yeah. Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Long as I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. Sports coma, yeah, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Sports coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Somebody please better help. Running this thing like elf. Thank God every day I'm not a felt. Go to YouTube live with Big Q and the guys. If you ain't ride or die, the bandwagon get flipped. Been marching in, that was way for the ring. I was yelling out your chain for the championship. Bucking on town, duck down. Falcons, pluck, get shut down. Panthers ain't much touchdown. The vision really belong to us now. So much hate on the Saints, you could probably tell. Ever since Bounty Gate hit the NFL, when things seem fishy and you probably smell the crooked referees on Roger Goodell. Yeah, money like this and I'm a who that. Every day I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. It's the sports coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like this and I'm a who that. It's the sports coma, this is where we do that.
You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
But yeah, the questions, Shorts, is how do you fix it? Bro, it's a complicated question, kind of simple and complicated at the same time. The issue is you need leadership. Like we need different people at the top of the organization. We don't need this Lauscher dude. Resituate him to a different job, making him accountant or give him a title befitting to what he does. Top businessman, whatever. I don't care. Just take him away from the president of football operations position. The Mickey Loomis needs to be stripped away of his general manager. You can keep the VP. He can't do no harm with that. But the general manager, there need to be another general manager. If we can do that and add some more football, intelligent, high IQ football people, not from the Saints circle, but from outside, from successful organizations, bringing them in here, then we can be about the business of then making football decisions and moves on the field. But until we take care of that, because everything you see on the field is indicative of the play, of the mindset of the people at the top of the team. That's Mickey Loomis. And only Mickey Loomis, because Dennis Lauscher doesn't know anything about that because he's totally over-relying on Mickey Loomis. So what you're seeing, the messed up cap situation for the next 2 years, all this stuff is just on the back of bad decision makings by Mickey Loomis. He the one that brought Dennis Allen in here, try to protect him for all that time. It's just dumb. It's dumb decision. You got to get him out of there first in terms of making him not be the general manager anymore. And that means there needs to be a refocusing at the top. Then after that, bro, then you be about the business of fixing what you see on the field, which means you have to have a full season evaluation, a full team evaluation on the Saints from top to bottom of the team. What are we going to do with the quarterback? What are we going to do with these older players? How do we manipulate around this? But we on a crash course for the next 2 years because of what Mickey Loomis done. He's tied the Saints into a very tough situation, foolishly. He can't be told anything. He believes his path is the only path. And unfortunately, this is what needs to happen for people to for the organization to be shaken up so they can be proven to be a back ass, stupid and out of touch organization. This is what it takes for them to be totally humiliated. Because see, they don't learn easy. You got to humiliate these people and then threaten them and then take money away from them. That's how you got to do it. That's the only way you can do it. You got to that's how we got Dennis Allen fired, and that's the only way to do it. They don't listen easily. They're greedy. They're hard head, and and that's what happened, and that's what you got to chastise them that way. So that's the best thing I got, bro, in terms of that. Then after we get through with all of that, then and only then we can then be about looking at what we need to do on the field. But yeah, it's very interesting, man, to be honest with you, man. All right, Saints lose the game, fam. 34-0. That's right. 34-0. The Saints lose the game. How about that? 34-0. They didn't even get off the plane. The defense, Saints didn't even get off the plane. They didn't get off the plane. The Packers kicked them in the teeth, and absolutely insane. Insane. But thank you for the question, bro. Appreciate it. All right, let's remove the super chats here. Let's get to the super chats here. Brother Prom says DA wanted these players, coaches, and cut good players indeed. Thank you, Brother Prom. Appreciate you, bro.
Thank you. Fuck too kind.
Thank you, brother. All right, Milton, shout out to you. Says Q, how can we even begin to fix? Yes, I just said what I just said to Shore. It's the same thing, brother Milton. You got to start at the top because, like I said, man, this is I've been saying this for a while. All this is the brainchild of Mickey Loomis. All this the trash, garbageness of Mickey Loomis. This is what's going on here, and that's why the change needs to happen in the administrative level. New people need to be brought in the organization. Old people need to be outed or shifted around to different positions. Then once we do that, then we can be about the business of then changing this stuff on the field, evaluating whether it's right to go a car, and shaking and moving in a direction to kind of put the team where we need to be. That's where we are right now. You're very limited in your financial resources to attract people. You got to constantly rework contracts to tie you into it. All this was done by Mickey Loomis, who does not want to be accountable. He does not want to be answered tough questions or asked tough questions. He wants to sit up there with Mike Hoss, who's a New Orleans Saint paid reporter, to ask softball questions. He don't want to be questioned at all. And I don't understand no manager or general manager that has a plan but does not want to be questioned on his plan. That means he's a con man. He don't have a damn plan. I've been saying Mickey Loomis. I exposed Mickey Loomis 2 years ago when I was telling y'all that he's a high paid gopher that ran errands for Sean Payton. And when Sean Payton left, he exposed all them dudes. They're nothing but side chicks when Sean Payton was gone. And no disrespect to side chicks, but the reality. Listen, side chicks, no disrespect. But listen, all I'm saying is at the end of the day, man, is that this is some BS, right? Mickey Loomis is a chump. He's a moron. The game done passed him by. It's time to get beyond this dude. And this 34-0 shellacking, and watch the lackeys. The lackeys are going to come out and say, well, hey, man, Q, we didn't have this. We didn't have that. We didn't have this. But they'll tell you about all the players we didn't have. But they won't for 1 second stop and say that regardless of what players we had or we didn't have, that a New Orleans Saint team should never go into another building and lay down like they did to the Packers. They always supposed, no matter how bad you're outgunned, you're supposed to have more effort than your team. That's one thing you can control. The Saints were dumb pre-snap penalty-wise. They were poor executing on the offensive line. They didn't know, even when the starters was out there, they wasn't blocking correctly. You had all your starting offensive linemen before Eric McCoy got hurt again and before Lucas Patrick got hurt again. What did it amount you? You didn't get anything in the first half when they were healthy together. They played like they did in the first half of the Washington game again. So before we even get to all that stuff, if you played sports, if a player is hurt, about next person up. You also realize that because a guy is this guy, that guy is hurt, that don't supposed to affect your effort and your dog. You're supposed to light into them. Look what the Green Bay Packers did. They were missing a couple of their starters on secondary, and them guys still came in there and made plays. That's what you're supposed to do. You don't use injuries as an excuse in football. Next man up because you're getting paid to go out there and perform. That's how that shit go. So a lot of they can miss me where we were missing this guy, miss that guy, but don't talk about nothing, no effort or playing with no passion or none of that kind of stuff, man. Miss me on that. But thank you, brother. Appreciate you on that.
Thank you. You're too kind.
Thank you, bro. All right, Barbara. What's up, Barbara? Shout out to you. Queen says dead, dead, and rotting. Thank you, Barbara. Appreciate
Thank you,
you.
thank you, thank you.
Oh yeah.
Fuck too kind.
Yeah, this is terrible, man. No matter how you slice it. We're gonna bring in Pops Q momentarily, man. Pops, make sure your TV is off in the background so we can hear you good, my brother. Let's hit the stats right here quickly. Bringing in Pops so he can get the word and the word on the street because this is horrible, man. Saints on the first down tips, man. 24-14 advantage Packers. Saints were 4 of 11 on third downs. Packers were 6 of 13. 0 for 2 on fourth down for the Saints. Packers had 69 total plays versus 53 by the Saints. Packers had over 400 yards. Saints had 196. 9 drives altogether. Saints averaged 3.7 per play. Packers almost 6 yards per play. 216 yards passing for the Packers versus 129 by the Saints today. Also, the rushing attack, Saints had 67 yards off of 20 carries, 3.4 yards. Packers had 188 yards. Let me say that again. Packers had 188 yards rushing off of 39 rush attempts, averaged almost 5 yards a carry, 2 rushes, first downs. They were 4-4 in the red zone against the Saints. The Saints have 7 penalties for 40 yards. Packers 6 for 60. 2 turnovers by the Saints today. All this kind of stuff. Packers had almost 40 minutes in time of possession, 36-40 versus the Saints 22-47. Complete smack in the face of what the Saints did today in terms of what they couldn't do. But it is what it is at the end of the day at the time of possession. In a 60-minute game, they almost had it for 40 minutes. Defense definitely made some stops as much as they can do before the bottom fell out. The offense, they don't even deserve to get paid. I know they're gonna collect money tonight for not doing anything. 15 of 30 for Spencer Rattler for $153, 5.1 yards per throw. He had an interception. The man was sacked 3 times. He had the rating of 51.1. A lot of the pressure was coming. They couldn't protect them properly. They couldn't produce a running attack. Rattler 5 scrambles of 28 yards with the team leader today for the Saints. Also, Foster Monroe was the top catcher. He had 2 for 23. Pettis had 2 for 31. Juwan had 2 for 27, 2 for 16 for Kendra. Jordan Mims 5 for 16. Nothing really popping. We know about the fumbles by Spencer Rattler, Kevin Austin Jr. Demario Davis led the team in tackles, 9. 10 tackles for Demario, 9 for Pete Werner. The Saints did not get a sack today at all. They did not force a turnover on the Green Bay Packers, and the Packers just mopped the Saints, wiped them out in front of a national audience, 34-0. Just complete domination. Ain't nothing to say about that. Totally pathetic and sad all at the same time. Let's bring in Pops Q. Thank y'all. Shout out to y'all, man. Let's hit one more here. Raylan, thank you, Raylan. So I know Sean was sick and tired of scouting players and making decisions at the CEO. As a CEO, that's why he left Mickey. Wore his, you know what, out. Thank you, Raylan. Appreciate you. Much love to you. Thank you. Appreciate you, Queen. All right, let's bring in Pops Q. Pops Q, welcome to the broadcast, my man. Pathetic, craptastic performance of the Saints and Packers. What are your thoughts? Well, they about to look like they. We'll get your thoughts in there before we get to Riz and them. They're gonna be popping up momentarily. But go ahead. What your thoughts on the game on this Monday night, Pops?
I didn't see much effort in team play. The offensive line play was atrocious. They couldn't run. They had a few successful runs, and he got away from it. The passing, they couldn't pass the ball. They had a lot of problems along the offensive line. They had a lot of problems with some execution. But the kid that's quarterback, and he doesn't even get time to throw the ball downfield. Because the offensive line was so atrocious with regard to their play. We're not going to see too much more from this team. I think this team is done like a pancake on both sides. They're done. Time for the Saints to start making moves or doing whatever they got to do to get better. Maybe they could go get Kirk Cousins. He's gonna be on the street soon. let him play some spare quarterback. He didn't carry the Falcons nowhere because they got a better offense than we have, and he couldn't win with them. But we got to do something. We're not gonna have Carr back. Carr is done for the season. So we don't have any. We're not gonna be able to get any effective play at quarterback. We just don't do it. The kid tries his best, but being, he's inexperienced. They don't throw the ball downfield. I mean, you've got to be able to do that sometime to keep the defense from packing it in on you, and plugging up the passing and rushing lanes. But they don't fear the Saints passing attack, and this is what happens when you don't respect your passing attack. They pack the box, and then when you try to run the ball on you, you get a short gain, or you don't get any yards gained at all. They had a few breakouts. No imagination to the offense. None. Not that I was able to see.
Yeah, it was quite pathetic, man. The Saints are 5-10 right now, and the Packers thing. We knew going into this matchup that the Saints would have an uphill battle against the Packers. I think the question mark I had for the Saints was not just a couple of players that were missing. It was the fact that I wanted to see the offensive line started to have a better and solid performance and doing what they needed to do to solidify and dominate the line of scrimmage, in which they didn't. Once again, Tonight, we watched another shady, back-ass performance by the Saints offensive line without them being steady and running the football and protecting Spencer Rattler. They didn't have a chance, and the Packers literally pulled the string that unraveled their garments. I mean, really did. I mean, they just took the Saints apart. They put pressure on them as they began to mount the scores on the Saints. Saints could not do nothing, and it was just, I mean, the mindset they were beat in the first half of the game. They were beat. They had zero adjustments in the second half. They made no adjustments that was worth of note that worked. Whatever adjustments that they made, they were failures. So the line of scrimmage, Pops, in my estimation, dealing with the Saints offensive line, I mean, Spencer Rattler spent a great deal of time running for his life. So
right.
this is pitiful performance. Now they'll have a garbage time Raider club coming up, but then again, I don't know. This is pathetic, man. This is pathetic. This is just bad football all around.
Yeah, I agree with you. I don't even think that they might not be able to beat the Raiders. I mean, the way that offensive line is playing, they don't give the, like you said, Rattler had to scramble and run for his life most of the night, and a few passes he did got off. He did make some connections, but you got to give him time to throw the football. You got to give him time to look the field over. Give him a couple of extra seconds. This offensive line is pathetic. It really is pathetic. They got wholesale changes that are going to have to be made. But at the end of the season, they got to decide who is going to coach this team. I don't think the guy we got in there now is the long-term answer. He got you a couple of wins to kind of make the people feel good, but then once the opposing teams figured him out, next thing you know, they go back to doing the same thing. There's no imagination in the offense at all that I can see. Come on, you gotta be imaginative. Your team is weak. Your defense is. They do the best they can. The defense stays on the field too much, and they get tired after a while. That's how and the Packers knew that. They took advantage of it and just run the ball down their throat. That's basically what they did. I don't think the Packers punted once tonight, if I can remember. Did the Packers even punt? Check that out for me, son. I don't think the Packers even had a punt. Did they?
Yeah, they did punt, Pops. They punted, I want to say twice in the game, but let me verify that. I think they did punt. They punted twice in the game, and the Saints did make several adjustments in the game to kind of force their hand. But yeah, the Packers. Let me see here. No, you're right, Pops. They didn't punt once.
They didn't punt
no, they did. They did. I'm sorry. Yeah, they did punt twice. 2 punts, 93 yards. One was a touchback by Daniel Whelan. So yeah, they punted twice, 93 yards, 46.5. Yeah, they punted twice in the game. So yeah, the Saints defense did force the the Packers to slow down in the second half, but the Saints offense never arrived to play ball. They never showed up
Right.
to play.
They stayed on the plane.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they stayed on the
too
plane.
cold. They were too cold.
They stayed right.
They didn't put no clothes on, so they was freezing when they was out there. They was all stiff and moving half crazy like, and then there you go. Packers run them off the field.
Right. You're right, bro. I mean, this was a game where, yeah, they just destroyed the Saints with the running attack. They had 100.
Yes, they did.
They had 188 rushing yards combined over 3 running backs.
Out of 3 running backs, yeah.
With 39 carries, almost 40 carries, 188 yards. They averaged 5 yards a rush.
Do you think this team, this team is getting too old, especially, I mean, on the defensive side of the football? Some of these guys are I believe, are too old. You know, especially like the guy that played at LSU, played safety back there. Man, come on, dude. You know, you got to be able to make some of those plays, break up some of those passes that they were throwing back there. And they just didn't. They didn't play. You know, the honey badger. That's what I'm referring to. Didn't make too many good plays today. You know, on defense. And they just moved in, and the Packers just moved the ball down the field, up and down the field the whole game. They never stopped them. You know, the field goals, they had a few stops, but the offense could never get untracked. Why? Because the offensive line sucked so bad that they didn't give Rattler much time to do anything with the football. He made a couple of plays. You know, he made a couple of plays, but they couldn't get close enough to even get a field goal attempt. You can't keep dumping the ball off, you know, and things like that. The wide receivers, I don't even think they even make a catch. I know there's one, you know, did any of them make a catch?
Yeah, you had a couple of them. Kevin Austin Jr. had one catch.
One catch.
Cedric Wilson had one catch.
Mm-hmm.
They had Pettis had 2 catches. Dante Pettis had 2 catches. But
okay.
You know, so he spreaded the ball around. But like I said, the path to victory wasn't through Spencer Rattler. They needed the running attack with a stern offensive line providing protection for him while running the ball. They didn't do that at all.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's my if I was a defensive coordinator, that would have been my game plan. We talked about that in the preview. We talked about that in the preview stream about how you defeat a team like that by stopping the run and forcing a rookie quarterback to beat you, in which they could not. But yeah, Pops, to kind of go back on the running attack for the Green Bay Packers, not only did they put up almost 190 yards rushing on the Saints, but they also scored 3 rushing touchdowns, 21 points from the running attack. So you had
nothing passing, just running the football.
Just running the ball. They had one that Jordan Love did have 1 passing touchdown, but the way they beat the Saints, they scored 3 touchdowns, like 3 touchdowns off the running attack, 188 yards, 39 carries, 5 yards a carry, 3 rushing touchdowns. They manhandled the Saints defense. They bullied the Saints defense.
Yes.
So and the offense had no answer. They could not produce anything. This was a bad team. The Saints are they fall to 5-10. And like I said, we think with the Raiders is not giving a win. But after a demoralizing loss like this, you got the Raiders, and then you close out against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It's a really crappy season. But even though it lines you up for potentially what could be a top 10 pick, depending on how everything mount, here come Rizzy. I see what we're going to talk about right here. I think we did a good job here to make some stuff happening. But at the end of the day, we're going to fill it out, make sure we find out. We need Derek Carr. We waiting on Derek Carr.
We obviously lost the turnover battle, which is number 1. Number 2, we really felt like we had to have a fast start to the game. And so we had done very, very well. And then the last thing was win the line of scrimmage. We didn't do that on either side of the football. So that was kind of our formula for success. We didn't attain that, coaches or players. So naturally very disappointed in the overall result. Certainly not what I expected in the least. But, you know, we had a lot of self-inflicted wounds there in the first half. And, you know, for 2 weeks in a row, we only had 14 or 15 plays again in the first half and dug ourselves a hole and you know, couldn't get off the field defensively and couldn't convert and continue sustained success on offense. So, you know, we certainly played a little bit better in the second half. But listen, if you can't, obviously you come away with no points you have a zero chance to win the game. So, overall, like I said, just a disappointing day. We got to look to rebound. We got a short week here, so it's going to happen. It's going to come quick, like I just said to the team. So we got to make sure we lock back in and get ready to go. So.
This is the first time since you become head coach that the team just wasn't competitive on either side of the ball. Kind of what you touched on about what would you attribute that to? Do you feel like they came out flat in this game?
No, I think we did it to ourselves in a lot of ways. I mean, listen, we had them in third and medium, third and long different times in the first quarter, and jumped off sides on both of them to give them a third and short situation. Our goal was to get these guys into some third and longs. That's something they hadn't done a great job of. And when we did get them finally into those situations, we didn't. And then offensively, obviously we turned the ball over twice. Again, we had some self-inflicted. We jumped off sides a couple times. And so just, a lot of it we did to ourselves. So there were some spurts, where they were short spurts, unfortunately, where we did some good things, but just overall not good enough. So, listen, I'm still very, very proud of our effort. It wasn't a competitive game, but certainly, not by the score whatsoever. I didn't see a lack of effort or anything like that on the field.
Eric,
what? He tried to come back and play and just,
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
To be able to function like he normally functions. So that's why it had nothing to do with the score. Then it was, doesn't matter what the score was.
What you proud of?
He tried to come back, and it just wasn't feeling full strength in that arm. So,
what are you proud of?
Listen, there were some good moments, but just overall, I mean, we can't turn the ball over, like I said.
There were some good moments.
You saw some flash plays.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
But like I said, we didn't help them much. So I think it was an overall team situation. We dropped some passes. We dropped some balls on them, which could have helped us. And made the overall product look a lot better, and maybe make his performance look better. I'll have to watch the film and reevaluate it. But we missed some pass protections in the first half. The fumble in the first half, we blew a pass protection, so a guy comes free, and the whole play gets kind of blown up, and we make it worse by turning it over. So it certainly wasn't all on him.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man? I'm out, man.
If you go back and watch the play, both covering officials, ruled the ball. The clock stopped. I had asked the covering official, if the clock was going to remain stopped. I got a yes, and I turned back, talked to the offensive coaches, and kind of talk about our plan there and what we were going to do there. At the end of the half, and then they decided that he fumbled the ball forward. And it just wasn't communicated to me that the clock had restarted. So we lost some precious, valuable time there. So that's what happened.
What is he proud of? I'm stumped. What is he proud of?
I'm still trying to wait till he's jealous.
Well, I would say this. I mean, I would say it doesn't matter who's playing. We have to do a better job stopping the run. I mean, naturally, I think we gave up 190 yards rushing on 5.5 yards a carry. So, regardless of who's playing on offense and regardless of who's out, that's just not good enough. We dressed the 48 guys that we dressed. We're not going to make excuses. You guys know me well enough by now that not going to make excuses about that. We didn't perform well enough. So, as I just said to the players, we can allow the excuses to creep in, and we all know the guys we're missing. I got it. But, we had 48 professional football players out there today, just like they did, and they didn't play very well. So, and we didn't coach very well, and the whole thing wasn't very good.
He ain't lying.
Well, listen, certainly if there's different pieces out there, the game might look a little bit different. Naturally, I understand the question. At the same time, we'll evaluate that. So if there's balls that we felt like should have been caught, or there's protections that should have been had, things like that, that's not going to be on the quarterback. So like I said, it's not all encompassing. Sometimes that can be skewed. I thought he had a couple of good passes, but he also made a couple of poor decisions. So that those will get evaluated each play on its individual basis. So.
What?
Well, I think the way the game played out, we dug such a hole. I think we had a plan for Kendrick coming in, and we got into a lot of a 2-minute drill, things like that. And so I think that's why you saw more of Jordan Mims there because of just the way the game played out. We got out of a lot of regular down and distance situations. Once we got into a 3-score situation, we had to be in a little bit of a 2-minute mode. And so that's why you saw all those guys get reps there. Jordan, Jamal, and Kendrick. No, I'm not saying that. No, I'm just saying our game plan for this particular game didn't play out the way we wanted to.
Do you feel like y'all are physical enough?
Well, I think some of the old, defensively, I think some of the old problems that we had maybe earlier in the middle of the season kind of crept back. We had done a really good job, on run defense in the last couple of games, particularly versus the Giants and the Commanders. But these are some of the things we saw prior to that game. Some of the runs, some of the missed tackles, some of the yards after contact. Listen, Josh Jacobs is a phenomenal player. I'm not going to take anything away from him. He's one of the best guys in the league at yards after contact. But overall, their entire rushing performance is not a good formula for success for us. Anytime the team rushes the ball 37 times and has a 5.5 yards a carry, like I said, doesn't really matter who's on the other side of the ball. That's not going to be a good formula. So we got to find a way to get that corrected.
What about your offense, man?
You guys were eliminated in the playoffs yesterday. Sense that crept in at all?
Yeah, I've never felt like since the day I took over, we're on a 7-game losing streak. It would have been easy for a lot of a lot of players and veteran guys especially to kind of check out. And I've never ever felt that. I didn't feel that today. I thought, to be honest with you, I thought we had a great prep week. We had a great walkthrough last night. I felt like we were locked in. We just didn't perform well. I mean, let's just sometimes in this league it's going to happen. We didn't have very good performance, but I never felt like our guys are looking down the road and not giving effort because of our playoff status. I never felt like that one time during this time I've taken over. I didn't feel like that tonight. I feel like we got out coached and out executed. I mean, it's the way it is.
How do you kind of regroup the last 2 weeks with no playoffs and coming off a performance like that?
Yeah, we got to go. This counts for one loss. That's what it counts for. So we got to go back to doing the things we've been doing well this last month or so, and understand that's how we're going to climb back and come back and try to get a win this week. Listen, we got a lot of younger players playing right now. That's no secret. So there's to be able to evaluate a lot of those guys from the quarterback right on through all the rest of the positions. So there's a lot of guys. There's guys out there. There's a lot of guys that are playing for something. But like I said, I have not witnessed one time. We made plenty of mistakes, but effort wasn't one of them. So I've never felt like that. So I wouldn't, in my mind, that wouldn't be any different than this coming week.
Is there any progress from Evan Stan the last couple of days, or just kind of
Yeah, there was. He actually had he's starting to get some grip strength back and some functionality back in the hand. It just wasn't good enough again for this week. We're gonna the players' day off this week is gonna be Christmas Day. They'll be in shortly tomorrow, and then Christmas Day will be the day off, and then we'll resume practice again Thursday. So hopefully a couple more days here, we can kind of see where he's at. But there was an improvement this week. It certainly was a better week than the previous one. So we'll kind of play it and see where he is come Thursday.
What happened with Nathan Shepard for both games?
So he had a very unique situation. We were at the hotel about to leave to come over here, and he was dealing with something with his eye. And he got down here and was able to see the doctors and the trainers. And it was just a situation where he just wasn't able to. He had some pain in his eye and some function. And he really couldn't wear his contacts. He couldn't really see very well. And so we made the decision. It was a last minute thing. I just found out literally about it as we were getting on the buses to come down here. So just an unfortunate situation. So we made a decision because we had a couple of defensive tackles that were going to be inactive anyway. And so we made the decision just to activate somebody else because he wasn't going to be full go. So he was having some problems seeing, and he had some pain in his eye. So I was told by the medical staff that it should be short term, but it just was unfortunate. Certainly unfortunate timing for tonight. So. It was really more about the injury. The illness definitely prohibited him from the rehab process, and definitely prohibited him from the practicing. And so, just with the whole equation there, just felt like it was in his best interest, not to play tonight, because he missed a lot of practice time because of both. So. Good, appreciate it.
I'm out, man. That nigga's tripping.
I'm confused. I'm sorry. I don't know
That was interim head coach.
I don't know what's going on here, man. I'm totally bewildered. I'm totally confused here about what's going on here. I don't understand. How could a coach as raspy as Rizzy gets out here on this in front of everybody and tells the Who Dat Nation and the great Saint think tank, who are totally super intelligent, that he's proud of a team that just got blanked 34-0. I was so confused on what he was talking about the defense, to the point where I said, hold on, let me put a poll question to the mighty Who Dat Nation and have them to give me their thoughts on it. And we're going to go over that just a second. Let's hear from Spencer Rattler.
Embarrassing loss. I put it on myself. Played not good at all, in my opinion. Just didn't have any answers. Got to go make more plays, protect the ball, and just got to be better. Yeah, I got to throw the first one away quicker on the screen, and then second one trying to make a play. So clean setup, just got to feel that corner sinking off and progress or just run it. Yeah, I mean, it's tough seeing guys go down, Eric, Lucas, especially Lucas, there at the end in junk time. But, you never want to see any of your guys go down.
The whole game was joke time.
But credit to him for trying to come back and battle. Credit to the whole line for battling, everybody on the offensive side battling all night. We didn't just lay down and quit, but just an embarrassing game.
Second straight week and getting shut out in the first half. How do you guys get going?
I mean, we just got to figure it out. I mean, we got 2 weeks to figure it out. At this point, just go out there and try to make plays and try to get a win. I haven't got to get a taste of a win, starting any game. So, hopefully we'll be able to, but, I know these guys in this locker room, this team is not going to just lay down and quit. We're going to come back to work and, just grind and finish the season out. But, it's tough. It's a really good team that we just played, and they had a great scheme. Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing, leave a good taste in fans' mouths, in our mouths.
What?
We got to get right this week. And, I put that on myself. Starts with me. I got to come to work and expect to play at a high level. If you told me a couple of days ago this is what it was going to look like today, I would have said you're crazy. We had a great week, but this is great lessons we're learning. For us as a group. So, our leaders, I know they'll keep preaching the right message, and as a young guy, I'll keep following along and try to be one of those leaders as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's part of the game. This was a tough loss. Obviously having a lot of new pieces in there, a lot of different guys, but our expectation is to try to get it done with anybody. And throughout the week, confident in my guys always. everybody. They're none of them lay down and quit. They all, fight hard, and that's what you got to respect about them. So, we just, we got to get it done.
You guys were eliminated from the last 3 weeks. As a team, before knowing that, what do you guys think about it?
Yeah. I think Double D said it perfect, to us right now. It's, you got to play for something bigger than the scoreboard. You got to play for something that means more. Play for your pride, play for, just your teammates, your brothers. You don't want to go out there and lay down, and I know these guys won't. I know we'll get back to work after Christmas and try to string together a good week. It's a short week, so we got to get a win in the Dome. I don't think the weather affected us. I think, we came out in pregame, felt good. I think we got outplayed. We got punched in the mouth, plain and simple.
He ain't lying.
Thank you. Yep.
I don't understand, man. I really don't get it, man.
That's quarterback Spencer.
This is, and I like. I just think a lot of stuff I don't get it, man. I'm not getting any answers to my questions, and I'm probably not going to get them tonight. But hopefully I get them from the Who Dat Nation, man. The poll question is, what contributed to the loss more? We hear Rizzy talked about the defense. He made a few things about the offense. He's scared to go on that side where that offense is and do any real criticism. So I asked the Who Dat Nation. I said, what contributed to the loss more in their opinions? And this is what they said. And this is the two options. What contributed to the loss more? The lack of offense or the defense not stopping the run. The Who Dat Nation said in a resounding fashion that 75% of the people said the lack of offense contributed more to the loss tonight. And that's really not that complicated, right? Because they scored 0 points.
Yep.
The defense did put up some stoppage. They did have like 4 drives in which they did force the Packers to kick 2 in a 4 stretch of drives. They made them kick 2 field goals, 2 long distance field goals. One was a 55-yarder, another one was 40-something, and then they made them punt twice. During that time frame, the Saints didn't do anything offensively.
No.
But like I was telling the family members when we talk about Rizzy, he doesn't criticize the offense. He doesn't go over there and do anything. That's why I was telling y'all that he's not the guy. He doesn't handle the offense right. And he sounds like Willie Green. Him and Willie Green must be sitting up there comparing notes because he said the same thing. When the Pelicans get hammered, Willie Green comes out and said that he's proud of his team. Proud of what? There's no moral victories in this stuff. There's no moral victories. What are you proud of? You just got hammered by the Packers 34-0. Your offense didn't even get off the plane. So what are you proud of? I just don't understand. I don't get that. Pops, what's your thoughts on what you heard from these guys?
It sounds like somebody threw a bunch of drums, a drum set down the steps.
Three Stooges ass team going on here, man.
Well, the way also you got to think about it. They play. They're not playing for anything. They're playing for pride, and they must not have any pride. They're just trying to keep them getting hurt. Trying to, just out there, They didn't stop the Packers because they didn't really try to stop the Packers. The offense couldn't do anything because the plays were so vanilla. The Packers coaches were able to figure out what they were able to do and put a stop to it, to them. So they're too predictable, So they get stopped, they get shut, they have to throw the ball, they run, pass. They had a few good runs. I have to give them that. They had a few good runs. Then they went back to trying to pass the ball. And then when they're not, the offensive line is not set up for them to pass the ball because Rattler had virtually no time to throw the ball, and the Packers ate him alive. So That's the only other thing I could say. I mean, we got to start with that offensive line. That's the key piece. I think when we get ready to rebuild this team, the offensive line must be addressed. Them guys in the offensive line, the ones that's keep holding and missing plays, and these holding penalties kills us too. We get a first and 5, get a few yards, and all of a sudden somebody gets called for holding, then you're back 15 yards, and it makes the offense more difficult to handle. And a lot of it is self-inflicted. That holding, self-inflicted penalties really kept them down this game. They were kept down primarily because of a lot of that kind of stuff going on with that offensive line.
Man, it's just it's astounding, man. To hear it. I mean, the play of the team, man, is just tonight. And like I said, I wasn't expecting them to move the heavens and earth tonight. But what you would want your team to do is to have a full effort in the fight. You know, not make it easy for these people to walk over you. The Saints, the offense did not show up at all.
No,
they did not show up at all in this game, not at all. And when I'm talking about it's the offensive line. Like, we had all of the starters, the offensive line, at the very least, we needed them to show up. If they don't show up, you're not going to do anything offensively, and that's what happened. The Packers dominated off the line of scrimmage. They were putting pressure. They were putting pressure on the Saints with 4 rushers against the Saints 5 protectors. And when you do that, that's a big. Everybody can jump in, drop into coverage, cover those passing lanes, and make it difficult for the quarterback to find targets out there. When you generating pressure with the front 4, Saints did not put up enough pressure on their people, and the Packers did for our rookie quarterback. Offensive line was scrambling. They were missing blocks again. Penning was getting pushed back into the lap of the quarterback. Ruiz was Cesar Salad Ruiz again. Lucas Patrick was trouble. He stumbled and bumbled, ultimately got hurt toward the back end of the game. McCoy got hurt in the game again. And this just was another bumbling, stumbling, Three Stooges type effort from the Saints offensive line again. So, like I said, this was a stinker of epic proportion. Saints got manhandled, old-fashioned butt kicking. Then people put almost 200 yards rushing on the Saints, 3 rushing touchdowns against them tonight. Offense had nothing to give. So in the end, it's just the Saints move on to come back home against the Las Vegas Raiders. And man, listen, after getting humbled like that, I don't know how the Saints are going to respond. I have zero confidence in the Saints offensive line from this point. The backups are awful. I seen what Landon Young got in there and did. He ain't do shit. Shane Lemieux, Pepe Le Pew. It don't matter. He stunk. And the Saints offensive line dealing with injuries again, which means more than likely the backups are not very good. They're going to stink too. So they're not poised or picked to beat the Raiders with a struggling, bumbling ass line like this. So, man, it's simply bad in the Who Dat Nation right now, and it's unfortunately it's a necessary evil. We need to get these people out of here, man. We need to move these people around. We need to get these administrators, and this puts pressure on the forced change in the top of the organization. You have to. So it's good. It's bad now to watch, but at some point in the near future, it'll be good because we can use this as ammunition to force change in the higher levels of the organization.
And when you have somebody, where will you find somebody who's going to listen?
She listened before to fire Dennis Allen. The reports were she was heeding the words of the support base, as well as she talked to the players. So it was a combination of that helped sponsor her to move Dennis Allen off the team, to the chagrin of Mickey Loomis. He did not want to fire him.
Yeah, well, that's just time for him. It's time for Loomis to go. Loomis been around too long, and maybe we do need some fresh blood in here. Somebody who can inspire these guys, this team better. And he need to be out. He really do. It's time for some changes near the top of the ladder. I know Tampa Bay did it. Atlanta did. We can do it too. Get these old birds up out of here.
Right.
He got to go. They really have to go. We get some fresh people to come in here and look at this team and look at what they need, what kind of changes they're going to need. Get the kind of personnel that will support the starters, and that offensive line need to be totally revamped. And those guys that been hurt too much, and they need to be putting them on the street because they're not helping the team win. But it's the play calling also. Play calling is really bad. You can't expect it just trying to run, pass, run, pass, run, pass, run. You got to be able to open holes. You got to be able to get your offensive line motivated to open holes so they can perform the way that they getting paid to perform. Otherwise, they can't perform like that. We move them out and get somebody if we have to start from scratch.
Right. Yeah, I agree with that, man. I've been posing that as a solution for a while now with the Who Dat Nation and the Great Saint Think Tank. We talked about that quite exclusively because we know that I have zero confidence in the Saints moving forward for them to fix these issues, being that the person that actually created these issues is still here and has power. And I know that he doesn't have what it takes to correct the issues that the team is suffering from. This guy, what's to stop this idiot from hiring another Dennis Allen type of coach? What's to stop him from bringing a coach in here and then having bad draft decisions like we've seen for over the last 3 or 4 years? What's to stop that from happening? There's zero confidence in Mickey Loomis to right the wrong. He's tore up the Saints cap for the next 2 years. You can't even effectively go out and compete with rival teams in the NFL for talent in the free agent market because you're severely hindered in terms of your cap resources. That's because of him. So, no real change from a head coach level could possibly happen if Mickey Loomis, even he'll be picking people. Mickey Loomis is not interested in redirecting the movement of where he wants the Saints organization to go to over the next 2 years. His philosophy is to keep the Saints down the same path that they're on insofar as just finish out just suffering through another 2 years of cap hell to ultimately get to the third year, which you'll get the bulk of the cap resources back with a lot of these contracts fall off. He wants to keep you on that iceberg field path to what he believes will be cap heaven. Yeah. But he's going to fight you about getting rid of Derek Carr. What coach is going to deal with those limitations and take on the Saints job with limited cap resources, a very old roster, a quarterback that's getting worse, who the man took basically he just dove into a swimming pool with no water in it.
Pretty much.
Yeah, he pretty much dived into a swimming pool with no water into it. He went face first in it and broke his own self up. And he's getting older and he keeps having these repetitive injuries over and over again. And it's just a lot of negative stuff going on here. The experiment of what we've seen from Derek Carr so far has been a complete disaster. It has been a terrible disaster. Even we laugh at Atlanta giving Cousins 180-something million guaranteed. Guess what, Pops? That's just for this year. Next year, they can get from up under him and go to Penix. What's the Saints breakaway option? They don't have one. They're stuck up under Carr's money for next year. Even if they decide to get from up under them and cut them, they still will be hit with the dead cap. So you
still got to pay him.
Still got to pay him. So you stuck with the guy. So at least they were smart enough. Fontenot was smart enough to create an out for the situation they did. Just in case the guy didn't work. Not so much with the Saints. Would have been different if they had not restructured his contract this year, but they had to because they needed the money to move forward, to rebuild, to kind of make some moves with the teams. But this is Mickey Loomis. So in the end, like I said, I don't. People ask, how do you fix the mess? It has to start at the administrative level. You can't put the same guy in charge of burning the house down and say, hey, you with the damn matches and the fluid, the fluid in your hand, you be the one to fix the house, and this is some gun that burned it down. We can't we can't continue to do that. That's walking backwards, man.
Yeah, it's going on both sides, both teams, the Pelicans and the Saints.
Indeed. Yeah. You're right. Absolutely. Pelican and and that's the question, Paul. Let me ask you this. Let me get All World Trucker. Thank you, brother, for your super chat. He says, Q, what about Joe Brady as head coach? Man, listen, bro. Man. We have to investigate. He is an offensive-minded coach, so I want an offensive-minded coach. So thank you for that, bro. Thank you, brother. Appreciate y'all, World Trucker. I mean, he is an offensive-minded coach. I wanted somebody a little bit more head coaching experience. I didn't want so much like a first-time newbie. I wanted some guy with coaching, a successful coaching experience, right? A guy that's a bit of innovative, still young enough to be able to do some stuff. But we've seen with Minnesota, the guy that Minnesota got, what he was able to do with his offense, and he turned Minnesota around. We've seen it happen before. I would love to have a D'Amico Ryans type of coach, a guy that just electrifies the team, that's a good communicator, a good motivator, a guy that's really high IQ, intelligent. But, still in all, you get these brilliant coaches. You still got the general manager from the old yesteryear. We got to change a lot here. And I just have zero confidence in the Saints with Mickey Loomis over the top of the team because he's an idiot that destroyed the team. So why would I have confidence in him turning it around? So also big ups to y'all, man. Appreciate y'all for watching this dumpster fire, man. I try to make it as entertaining and as much as I can, but when you watching your team get the teeth kicked in 34-0, we still was laughing. I think I did a pretty good job tonight of just entertaining the family members, man.
Mhm.
So big ups to y'all, man. Good to see y'all, man. I see you, Dr. Williams. How you doing, sir? Appreciate you as well. Ace, big ups to you. All right, much love. What's up, Lewis? Big ups to you, JLJ. I see you, fam. Cameron. All right, big ups to you. Once again, shout out to Raylan. Can you too? You much love. Who that daddy? Marvin, I see you, fam. Appreciate you, Muse. What's up, Muse? Shout out to Muse, man. Good to see you in here as always, bringing some good energy. All right, what's up?
Hey, son. Yes, I just wanted to tell you,
Yeah.
I got Mr. Mel down here with me. He's came in from Riverview, Florida for a visit for this week. He's going to be here all of this week, the rest of this week, and part of next week.
All right, shout out to Mr. Mel, man.
Yeah.
They give him a round of applause.
And supporting our platform. Like I said, much love to him. Been like a brother to me.
Shout out to Mr. Mel, man. Much love to brother Mel. That's Pop's brother, man. That's like they grew up together in the struggle. So much love. Yeah, appreciate Mr. Mel and his support, man. Shout out to Mr. Mel. And big ups to the rest of the family too. Tyrone, what's up, JP, my dog, JP? Shout out to JP, man. Good to see you, man. Appreciate you, man. Shout out to my dog, JP. Tim, shout out to you, man. I see you. Big ups to all of y'all, man. Backwoods, I see you, fam. Debo, shout out to Debo. J Rod out, man. All right, John, big ups. All right, yeah, it's just a part of the game, man. Here with what we seeing, man. Listen. T-Roy, I see you, fam. Shout out to you, T-Roy. It's a very unique situation, man, to be a part of. 34-0. Saints just a complete laughing stock right now. But the golden era, Pops, has come to a crashing in, hasn't it?
Yes,
the golden
sir,
era
I
has come
think
to
it
a
does.
crashing in.
Just like those drums they threw from upstairs.
That's a bunch of clowns falling down. That's about 5 or 6 clowns falling down a flight of stairs, Pops. You got the air horns in their pockets.
Yeah. You imagine see a bunch of medics down there waiting on when they get to the bottom.
Man, that's perfect, Pops. It's about 5 or 6 clowns falling down the stairs.
Yeah, there's something going on. There's something going on like that. It just the people that's running the team are not capable of running an NFL team. That's basically what you have.
Yeah, this is true, man. Once again, shout out to Mr. Mel, man. Appreciate him as always, man. And shout out to the family, man, for being in the stream, man. I knew you guys had you were entertained tonight. Muse, thank you for the super chat, Queen. She says big love to Big Q and the Sports Coma family. Merry Christmas. And shout out to y'all, man. Merry Christmas and happy holidays to all the family members out there. It's not exactly, it's a hell of a Christmas gift to get blank 34 nothing by the Packers. But let me ask you all this before we get ready to leave, Pops, and this is to you as well. Now, with the Saints and Pelicans, both teams are right now 5-win teams. The Pelicans are 5-25. The Saints are 5-10. Right? They're
Mhm.
5-10.
Mhm.
Which team gets the 6 wins first? Is it the Pelicans or is it the Saints?
I think it'll be the Saints. I feel like I have a little confidence they might be able to get through the Raiders. I'm not sure, but I'm just got a feeling that they might be able to get this win against them, and even though it could be that the Pelicans might be, but they so banged up and they hurt. They got people hurt, not playing, and they lost again last night to the Knicks. So the Knicks are a pretty decent team. I'm sorry,
the Nuggets,
the Nuggets, but they lost to the Knicks the night before,
yes,
and then to the Nuggets just last night. So a couple of nights to separate the two teams, but they lost to both of them. And they're like they're playing okay until they get to the fourth quarter, and they're losing these games in the fourth quarter or the latter part of the third quarter. They're losing these games. They can't get a crucial rebound. From what I was able to find out, that the kid Messi, what his name is, Messi,
yes.
Oh man, he is really
awesome.
playing awesome basketball for the Pelicans.
Yeah, great young player, man. Love what
he's got to get him some help,
Right. Yeah, a lot of people saying the Pels. Some people are saying the Saints. It might be the Saints, Pops. They got the Raiders coming up. We know Derek Carr he's probably gonna fight his way back into that game. He wants to play the Raiders. We'll see how it looks coming into the season, man. But I would have to go. I don't think the Pelicans are going to win the game for the rest of December. I think that ultimately will be the demise of Willie Green. I think he'll get fired between now and the end of December.
Okay.
I don't see a win happening with them. They got the Rockets coming up. Then
no.
Yeah, right. They got the Rockets after this. They got a few other games. So like I said, between the two, the reason why I asked is because both teams are ran by the same person and they both stuck on five wins right now. So it's like, okay, the Saints are 5-10. The Pelicans are 5-25. And then the next group of games for the Pelicans for the rest of the year is Houston, Memphis, the Clippers, and then January the 1st at Miami. The next game I think they'll win will be January the 3rd, Friday, against the worst team in the NBA, which is the Washington Wizards. So Houston, Memphis, the Clippers, and Miami on January the 1st. I don't think the Pelicans are going to win none of those games.
Not in their present state. We don't have any help. That I don't know who's going to be coming back. When is Zion coming back? You got to be.
They say sometimes rumored in January, and I would say sometimes mid to late January, possibly into February. They always have a delayed time frame when Zion Williamson is in the fold. They always play it extra cautious with him.
Yeah.
Plus, he'll be under minute restriction, which would be also another thing that you would have to contend with. So it's going to be an interesting situation. But yeah, I think Willie Green is about to get on up out of here. You can't be 5-25.
No,
and still keep your job. Somebody got to get fired. Thank you, Muse. Appreciate the super
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate your Muse on that. Much love to you. And thank all of you guys, man. Listen, that'll do it for us for this stream, man. Saints go down with a loss, man, in the matchup. Saints manhandled by Packers 34-0. That's right, 34-0. The Saints are now 5-10 on the season. 2 games remaining at home against the Raiders and on the road against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who are still playing for something. I want to say they're still playing for something. I don't think the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are eliminated just yet. So they're still playing for something. And right now, the Saints are in limbo right now. They're a team in delusion. The coach is saying he's proud of a team. I don't know what's going on with these people. And I'm not trying to figure it out for the rest of the night. I'll sleep on it and I'll come back on the next day and we'll talk about it more. What tomorrow is Tuesday, Pops? What is tomorrow? Tuesday? I forget.
Tuesday, yeah, Tuesday.
There you go. So that's our Patreon show. So we'll be doing the film work on this on Patreon tomorrow, fam. So we'll have that episode for you on Christmas Eve. So anyway, with that being said, we're gonna get out on that, man. I appreciate y'all tonight, man. Hope you guys had a good time tonight, man. Besides the loss Hope we entertained you, man. Y'all had fun in the chat, had some good dialogue. Got some answers to some of this stuff, a lot to figure out. But also, like I said, tomorrow, Tuesday, we'll be on our Patreon, which is a lot of content for our Patreon, our YouTube membership family. If you want to be a part of that, please feel free to join. The links is in the description section below. For that, you can go to patreon.com/the PRO Media Network. You can also have access to our news show, On Q with Big Q. That's available there. A lot of content there, a lot of documentaries and reports that we have on our Patreon, as well as a lot of Saint content. And also, you could just join our YouTube. That's for just the Saints content exclusively. On Q is on Patreon, among other stuff that's on there. But it helps the platform and the community as we move forward. But anyway, with that being said, man, check out our fantastic sponsors of the show. Mint Mobile, who's having great sales right now. They got a 50% deal going out on their phones right now. If you're looking to get a cheaper service on your cell phone, man, and you're looking at the budget and say, man, I gotta save some money on these phones here, check out Mint Mobile, man. The link is in the description section. Teach Henley is also skincare products for the guys, man. So you can get chose on, man. If you ain't already chose by the ladies or whatnot, you can check that out. Bet Online is also for you to make money on the Saints. If you're not making money with the Saints, make money on the Saints. What I always say, because they're making it on your ass. So the bottom line is, do what you got to do there, baby. All those links in the description section, as well as the LinkedIn merch, the merch and all the links is in the description section as well. So with that being said, but get out on that. I'll see y'all on Tuesday. Much love. Who that to you? Peace.
Yeah. Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Long as I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. Sports coma, yeah, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Sports coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Somebody please better help. Running this thing like elf. Thank God every day I'm not a felt. Go to YouTube live with Big Q and the guys. If you ain't ride or die, the bandwagon get flipped. Been marching in, that was way for the ring. I was yelling out your shame for the championship. Bucking on town, duck down. Falcons, pluck, get shut down. Panthers ain't much touchdown. The vision really belong to us now. So much hate on the Saints, you could probably tell. Ever since Bounty Gate hit the NFL, when things seem fishy, then you probably smell the crooked referees on Roger Goodell. Yeah, probably like this, and I'm a who that. Every day I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. It's the sports coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like this, and I'm a who that. It's the sports coma, this is where we do that.
You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
Your black and gold home for the New Orleans Saints.
Bet Online is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting. From the earliest odds to in-game live betting, Bet Online provides you with all the action and the ability to watch the games as they happen. With the largest selection of odds on everything from football, NBA, and college basketball, NHL to UFC and MMA. Head to Bet Online today to get in on all the action with America's most trusted site for online wagering. Bet Online, the game starts here.
whothatdaily.com. That's right, the whothatdaily.com. Your one-stop shop for everything New Orleans Saints, New Orleans Pelicans, LSU Tigers, even the top flight boxing. So if you're a Who Dat and you're looking for a place to stay up on your team, whothatdaily.com is your site. The whothatdaily.com for the sport Who Dat in all of us. That's right, the Pro Shop is the platform store where you can go and buy all the latest merch to support the platform. Available at the Pro Shops, we have dozens of hundreds of products available for you and your family. Unisex tees for men and women, hoodies and sweatshirts, tank tops, kids and baby items, long sleeve tees, mugs, pillows, wall art, bath bedding, face masks, phone cases, stickers, bags, fanny packs, socks, hats, and many other items. Please feel free to check out the Pro Shops. The link is in the description section below. And remember, it helps the platform continue to grow. Check out the Pro Shop and Who Dat too.